Hey, what's going on? Luke here, and we are nearing the end of the first season of the Aston Villa career mode in EAFC24, and we are absolutely flying at the moment. We've been making good progression in the FA Cup. Now, we kind of flopped in the Carabao Cup as well as in Europe, but we're going well in the FA Cup. We're also going well in the league, which is something that I did want to focus on. We didn't have a heap of depth, so it's probably good that we didn't go deep into some of the other competitions. However, the FA Cup is definitely a focus, and top four is definitely a focus as well. And at this moment, we're definitely on track in terms of both of those competitions / tournaments. Now, we haven't got a great deal of games in this episode, so let's just go ahead and take a look at them. So the very first game of this episode, it is in the Premier League. We are taking on Man City, who are definitely a powerhouse. They seem to win it nearly every year in real life. I'm not sure if this is the case so much on the game. I don't think they're quite as good on the game as they are in real life, but Haaland gets an early shot away, a great save by Martinez, and that's something that has, as the season sort of progressed, we sort of figured out how to actually defend at the start of the season. I don't know if it was just the game. There have been plenty of patches as the season's gone on, but we've kind of figured things out. But Haaland does go there and he scores ever so easy. Just like a simple little chip. Like, it wasn't really too crazy. It's just like him one-on-one. There was just no way we're going to stop it. So unfortunate that we end up behind, but we do find ourselves in that predicament from time to time, and I wasn't too concerned. Like 1-0, yes, but it's not like they were dominating. However, they go for another shot there. That's 2 shots, 2 goals. And at this point, 18 minutes in, you're sort of thinking, it's a little shaky here. Okay, like, comebacks do happen, but I'm not so sure against Man City, maybe against Brentford or someone. But look, a nice little tackle there. Just sort of saves us because, 2-0, yeah, we can come back. It's unlikely, but we can come back. 3-0, not so much. But we do find ourselves with I'm going to say like a perfect chance there. Perfect would have actually been finishing it, but Ramsey just fires it straight at Edison. Pretty poor, to be honest, in terms of the shot, and that's something that I have found a little bit, is that we create plenty of opportunities, we just don't finish them. And I was talking about going 3-0 down. That's exactly what we've done, and it's off the back of like a little scissor bicycle sort of kick. Fantastic goal, like, to be honest with you. Like, one of the best goals I've ever conceded. It sounds weird to be saying that. And, we go ahead and we score one of the worst goals I've ever scored. A little sweaty goal. Some of our subs coming on and scoring for us. Cherky was the one there. Plays for Lyon in real life. Don't think he's getting too much game time, but he is very good for us as a little replacement. And Bodu, who is our third string striker, finds himself through on goal again. Can he bury it? Yes, he can. And all of a sudden, that 3-0 is now 3-2. We have 15 minutes to try and turn this around. We have 15 minutes to have the miracle comeback. Can we do it? Can we do it? De Bruyne, he's just holding it up. He plays it off to Silva. Does like a little fancy flip pass, seemed completely unnecessary, but Foden, he was injured 2 seconds ago. You might have seen it on the screen where like the score is. It came up and said he was injured. Seemed absolutely fine there. Just went through, absolutely belted it. And then, now it is, it's 4-2, game over. We're going to have one last chance here to try and sort of get a consolation. And to be fair, in my head, when I'm playing this, I'm not even thinking about a consolation. I'm straight up thinking we need to win this one. It's Matson, the left back. Should have scored there. It's off the post. A great save by the keeper. Not much I can really do about it, to be honest with you. That was a good chance, a great save, and we ended up losing 4-2. It's kind of ironic that I started that game off talking about how I'd figured out defense and how the patches have been a lot better, and then we have 4 put on us, but it is Man City. They have Haaland, they've got all these star players. They've been winning the league for a reason. So, disappointing loss considering the form that we've been in. I mean, I was talking about we're in the top 4 chase. Even at times we were sort of competing for the league. Not so much these days, but we were looking to hit back in a pretty good fashion, I would say. Even with the highlights are pretty terrible. I've got to say, I was a big fan of them at the start, but it just feels like some of them are so far-fetched. The long cross that we ended up benefiting from just there. Tell who we record from loan. Goes and scores like a diving header, sweaty goal. But like, that's kind of the opportunities you get. Either they're just one-on-one with the keeper, super unrealistic, or they're random crosses. So we rebounded well, but I mean, we're taking on Arsenal now. It is a big jump going from the previous game to taking on Arsenal. However, I will say Arsenal isn't a side that I ever really look at and I'm like, oh, I don't know if we can beat them. Like, I always go into these games thinking I can beat Arsenal. Just one of those games. Whereas Man City, you're not sure about, but it is Watkins opening the scoring 3 minutes into the game. Absolutely beautiful start. You can't really get any better, but it is Jesus just absolutely destroying us there, going straight past us, kind of getting exposed a little bit for maybe selling our left backs at the start of the season. We get away with it just there. It falls back to him yet again. It is Rodrigo with the ball, the number 10. I don't know how he's getting through. They score it to Odegaard and he goes in and finishes it. They had about 3 or 4 chances where they could have scored. We defended our asses off and we got no reward from it. So that is kind of of the downside of EAFC when I was talking about the defense. Like, we defended really well, but there was still nothing I could really do there. And then in the contrast to have an actual good chance, and it's a nice save from Martinez. But we played an absolutely incredible ball there. That's like some of the funniest parts about this game. You can just pass it to the keeper, or you're under pressure, and all of a sudden you're through on goal. We square it across. Watkins gets his second. How easy was that? Matty Cash making a little run up the wing there. Don't know how the ball landed his feet just so perfectly, but it did. It created an opportunity for us. It is Diaby going through there as well. Chris Smalling, I thought was going to get it, but just didn't quite have the pace. And we square it again. Sweaty goals. Get it out. If you understand the reference, you understand the reference. But yeah, no, the sweaty goals are definitely where it's at the moment. Even just the cutbacks, if it's not quite sweaty, it nearly is. But is Rodrigo just wrecking us, honestly. He just absolutely wrecked me. Definitely just like a one-on-one miss from me. Terrible defense from me. Again, ironic that I got done talking about defense being good, but look, they're putting a lot of pressure on us. I'm assuming in their settings there would be, maybe an ultra attack, something like that. But they're piling on the pressure late into the game. We give away a foul. Didn't think too much of it. They just chip it over. Chris Smalling, who they probably conceded the goal because of him, but they get one back. They even things up, and we've gone from being 3-1 up to being 3-all. And that's something I definitely need to shore up going into next season. These leads, I need to stop it. But I can't stop scoring with Watkins. I think that's his fourth. I think he scored all 4 of them. Absolutely killing it. He's definitely in the race to win the Golden Boot, and I think he might. Throughout the season when I checked, he was like 2nd or 3rd, but mate, to go and score 4 goals like that, there's no way he's not getting a Golden Boot here, but it is Ramsey. We're looking to shore things up a little bit, play through to Bodu, I think off the bench possibly. Usually he was going to square it up, but we do have a different scorer. The number 9 goes in. Actually, he's not the number 9. That's Tell, but doesn't matter what number he is. The only number I care about is that we've gone up to 5 goals and they're at 3, and it is the 9th minute. They are through on goal here. It's Declan Rice. I'm not too concerned because of just how the game is, like 90th minute. I don't think they can win, but it is a pretty terrible goal. Like, I think Martinez definitely could have done a lot better there, and he made good contact with it, and yet still went in. 9 times out of 10, that's a save. But hey, Watkins, he is the man of the hour. In fact, he's just been the man of the season, absolutely killing it there. A 5-4 win. They did well to come back, Arsenal, but they got close, but no cigar. So not quite done with the highlighted games, but we are going to be taking on Chelsea. In previous years, again, it's kind of like Arsenal, where like I see the name, and in previous years, Chelsea would have been someone I went, all right, I need to play this game for sure. But at this point, I was like, we're in the top 4 race. We're in great form. Chelsea are kind of trash. And, we're up 1-0 after 18 minutes. Looking for a second here. Watkins has got a penalty. That's the one thing with, like, the highlights is you just get these random penalties, and like you see other highlights, at least you can see, all right, well, he still had to play a nice ball, especially for like the first goal, but say for this one, it's just the penalty just there. So I'm not sure how I feel about highlights. Probably do less of them in the next season, but for the time being, we have the highlights, and we got a 2-0 win over Chelsea. Now moving on to the 5th game of the episode, we are taking on Liverpool. This is a huge game. It's at Wembley. It is in the FA Cup. It is a semi-final, so we could be going to a final. I was talking about FA Cup being very, very attainable and achievable, and I'm hoping that's going to be the case. But is Liverpool going to get the first chance of the game? It is Gakpo. I thought he was going to square it up, but he just kind of holds onto it and nearly a deflection into the goal. That's the one thing. As soon as they get into the box and you sort of get stuck behind them, you're kind of screwed. And speaking of screwed, we're screwed there. Virgil, big Verge, goes and heads it in. He's so big, isn't he? Like, you just see him there. It reminds me of like when they cross the Haaland. It's just like, oh no, there's no way I'm stopping this one. But look, 1-0 to Liverpool. Down but not out, and that's what I've got to say here. It is Malin. He goes through and scores, even things up. He's been such a good signing for us. Borussia Dortmund actually been really, really good for us in general. Makoko as well. Being able to get some really good deals, some of those players. Speaking of Makoko, trying to play like a little bit of a 1-2. Watkins plays it through the Ramsey. It should be a goal, and it is a goal. They do get a hand to it, but again, close with no cigar. Ramsey goes and scores. Early in the episode, we saw him just put it straight at the keeper. This time, the keeper did get a touch to it, but just too much power, mate. You can't stop it. I thought they were going to play a little, 1-2 there. They didn't do it, but they were going to pass it around. It does make you nervous when you have a guy like Mo Salah in the side, and he finds himself with the ball here. I thought we did enough. I honestly thought we did enough. He finishes it. It's 2-all. It's in the second half as well, I should mention. We got in front of the ball. That's what the most frustrating thing is. We get in front of the ball, and they just kick it between the legs. It's just, again, like nothing you can really do. Great defense there. played out to Chewy, crisis averted there. So we are actually defending quite well despite conceding a fair few goals this episode, but we do create a lot of chances as well. I'd say we are very attack heavy, and we're going to be trying to do that right now. Watkins through on goal. What are we going to do? We're going to absolutely bury it. It's Ollie Watkins. What else is he going to do? He's not going to miss. He doesn't miss, man. Golden boot in the Premier League, looking to get probably top goal scorer in the FA Cup as well. It's just been absolutely immense for us. But a great save. Speaking of immense, what a save there. That's all I can really say. Saka coming on for them. I'm not sure if that's like Arsenal Saka. I'm not sure what's the go there. But Malin is through a little bit of space. Not quite through on goal, but he's going to have a lot of space to work with. Are we going to square it up? Yes, we are. Reaches out like quite a lot. At first, it kind of just looks like, oh, he's going to miss it. But he does find a foot to it. And Watkins scores yet again. You'd say wrap up the game, but they are through on goal here. Darwin goes through. Darwin gets destroyed. That's all I got to say about that one. And we find ourselves through on goal ourselves. It is Gittins off the bench. Plays it through to Bodu. Squares it up. Watkins scores. I think that's his third. Is that a hat-trick? I think it is. Doesn't matter. 5-2. We were down. We went out. We come back. We absolutely smack them. Goodbye, Liverpool. Hello, FA Cup final. Now, that's all of the clips in terms of the games. I just wanted to show a signing for next season. We signed Bellingham, but not actually Jude. We signed his brother. It says he's not good enough, but we are trying to sign some guys for the future. Also, just wanted to show we did simulate one of the games as well. I thought this late into the season, it's not going to matter whether I win, lose, draw. We're in the top four. We're in the top four. We're in an FA Cup final. Let's just get to the final. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap things up here. Hopefully you did enjoy that one. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm not going to waste too much time on this one. Follow my social media. It's Mr. Luke and YT. Shout out to all the members. You're seeing them on the screen right now. Thank you to everybody who stayed loyal. If you'd like to become a member, go click on the channel, click join. It supports the channel massively. Keeps me afloat, definitely. But that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap things up here. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for episode 9. We have an FA Cup final, as you saw. We just demolished Liverpool. Are we going to demolish? I think we're playing Chelsea in the final. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next one. See yous.